Morgan, the new single there, Seven Summers, it was co-written with Shane McAnally and Josh Osborne. I know the fans have literally been begging you to release it ever since you shared a demo of it back in April when Jake Owen nominated you for the Demo Challenge.
We wrote it, I think maybe October, November. I was kind of honestly on the fence about whether I was even going to put it out or put it on my album or not. I'm not sure why I ever felt that way, but especially during all this, the COVID stuff and quarantine, there's been a lot of different new avenues for me to explore, getting to know my fans better and getting to trying to figure out what songs to pick and that kind of thing. You know, I've put out a couple demos. I've played a couple songs acoustic. I've just done a lot of different things that I haven't ever done in the past. You know, this song is just the first example, I guess, since I was nominated to do that challenge. I put it out, and honestly, the feedback on Instagram was really good, but TikTok is really what made the song blow up the way it did. And it was kind of just like, well, I guess we probably better put this out if people like it this much.
And the lead single from your upcoming second album is More Than My Hometown. I know you've obviously worked with the three songwriters involved before in the past, but Hardy in particular seems to be somebody who you're just able to create magic with.
Yeah, man, Hardy is one of my best friends and one of the most, if not the most talented songwriter that I've ever met. And I've met a lot of them, so that's not something I say lightly. And we love each other. We come from, kind of similar backgrounds. I have a lot of the same interests, and I'm glad that, we have the relationship we do, and I cherish that.
And like your debut album, If I Know Me, both Seven Summers and More Than My Hometown were produced by Joey Moi. I've spoken to both Ray Lynn and Chris Lane in the past about working with him, but what's your experience been like of being in the studio with him, and what do you think he's been able to help you find and capture within your own sound?
He has an ear for music like no one that I've been around. It's awesome to watch. And then when it comes to me getting in the studio with my vocals and things like that, he's really helped me a lot with my harmonies, especially lower harmonies are something that I didn't really love to do beforehand. But he's always been pretty, adamant that I can do it and do it well. And it's becoming more of a second nature to me. So I'm really thankful he's helped me with that. And, Joey has kind of been known for a huge sound for a long time. We've produced Nickelback and FGL and things like that. But with my records, we've tried to keep most everything organic and all real instruments and everything pretty wooden. And, that's kind of just the vision that me and him have had for my music since day one. So I'm glad that we're kind of sticking to that. I really enjoy working with him.
And I absolutely love your collaboration with Diplo, Heartless. How did this come about? But also, when you talk about the power of social media and things like TikTok, working with Diplo, has that been quite eye-opening in sort of expanding your fan base, the crossover appeal of different genres?
The talks about this song started before I had really even broke out, I guess you would say. I mean, it was before my song Whiskey Glasses had really even made it to where it was going. And Diplo's team had reached out to my manager and had a few ideas for some songs with other artists that my manager has on his roster. And he sent them back Heartless and told them a little bit about me and things like that. They loved the idea, so we ended up doing it. And I would sing my parts and do some things in my studio and send it over there to Diplo, and they would do some things and then send it back. So, the song was released before I ever even met Diplo, so that was pretty cool. And, I was a little bit worried about doing a song like this because, the fan base that I have built were already so loyal, and I had already created, a pretty country sound, and I didn't want them to think that I was, straying too far from that path. But I've always loved a lot of different kinds of music, and I'm probably always going to do things like that, whether it's feature on something outside of the box or whatever it may be. But I'm always going to create country music albums at the same time. So hopefully everybody's okay with that.
To be coming off the back of your third consecutive number one with Chasing You, and to have so much buzz around you right now, and you've got journalists describing you as country music's next big superstar, do you feel any sort of weight of pressure or expectation? And has lockdown in an unexpected way enabled you to almost pause and maybe take stock of what you have achieved because you've been working so hard over the past couple of years? It's been all just go, go, go.
I do feel that, what you're saying, the pressure and the buzz. But at the same time, man, I'd rather feel that than to feel like I was dwindling away. I appreciate a little bit of pressure. I think it's a good thing for most people. I've always kind of enjoyed that. My high school baseball coach always told me pressure is a privilege, and I try to harness into a good thing, and have myself work harder than I may even want to sometimes. But yeah, lockdown, it's been interesting, man, because I'm a pretty outgoing person. I love being around people. I love getting ideas and inspiration from people. And that's been one thing that I've had to kind of figure out how to get, where do I find inspiration when I'm not getting to be around a lot of people. And honestly, probably been a good thing for me as a songwriter and as someone who likes to create things. I think that's probably been a good thing, just to be able to find new avenues and new ways to be inspired. And yeah, I've slowed down a little bit during this, but I've also, I've been writing, I've been working in the studio. I'm in the studio constantly right now, trying to get this second album done. So it's been a little bit of slowdown, and there's been a couple of moments where I've, like you said, tried to take a look on what we've accomplished so far. But we've got a lot of big goals for the future, so it's been mostly just still working pretty hard.
And your backstory just fascinates me. You're originally from Sneedville, Tennessee, and you moved to Knoxville just before you started high school. Your father was a pastor, and growing up you took both piano and violin lessons. I know back in 2014 you were a contestant on the American version of The Voice after your mother sent in an application. You mentioned your manager earlier, Seth England. He's also your label president. How significant in hindsight do you think him coming into your life has been?
He's someone I look up to and someone I consider not only my manager, but a good friend. He's someone who's full of ideas and good at making those ideas happen. And he's given me a lot of direction, a lot of advice, and put me in a lot of good positions to where we can grow our brand and succeed in more ways than one. I truly feel like he's got my best interest in mind, and I know I have his, and it's just, we have a good relationship, man, and not just with Seth, but with my whole team. I'm very thankful for where I'm at and who I get to work with every day. I don't have one complaint, and I know a lot of people can't say that. So Seth coming into my life was a huge turning point for me, for sure.
And just final question, Morgan. I know in July yourself and Katie welcomed a son who you've named Indigo. How have you found fatherhood?
It was not necessarily planned or anything like that, but it makes you realize life ain't all about you. And it's easy for someone like me to get into that, just because I'm working on something to do with me every single day. It seems like, everything I do is for music or for something that has to do with me. And it's kind of eye-opening to see that it's, the world isn't necessarily all about you. And I think it's a good thing. And I can, I'll grow and be a good father just like my dad was for me.
Morgan, I have like another 50 questions I could ask you, but I'm very conscious of time. Continued success, man, and good luck at the ACMs.
Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.